Box 111 Sanjay.
The history of aviation is filled with stories of airlines that once ruled the skies but vanished. Who can forget Northwest pioneering trans-Pacific routes, or Hughes Air West vibrant yellow planes? What happened to these giants of the sky that once defined an era and left such lasting legacies? Join us as we explore 20 forgotten airlines that no longer exist today.
Look to Northwest. We'll fly you to London or New York or Tokyo.
On September the 1st of 1926, Colonel Lewis Britton founded Northwest Airlines in Detroit, Michigan. Initially, the airline focused on airmail services before expanding into passenger and international routes. Northwest Airlines quickly became famous for its extensive trans-Pacific routes, particularly to Asia, and for being the first airline to ban smoking on all domestic flights in 1988. The airline was known for its red tail logo and operated one of the largest domestic route networks in the U.S. Northwest Airlines was considered a mid-range airline, offering competitive fares while providing premium services, attracting a loyal customer base willing to pay for convenience and quality. The airline later struggled to compete more effectively in a changing industry marked by rising fuel cost and increased competition from low-cost carriers. After working for many years, Northwest Airlines ceased operations on October the 29th of 2008 after merging with Delta Airlines.
Yes, 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 we are top banana, that's us, Hughes Air West.
Hughes Air West was founded in 1968 by merging three regional airlines, Bonanza Airlines, Pacific Airlines, and West Coast Airlines. Initially known as Air West, it was later acquired by Howard Hughes in 1970 and rebranded as Hughes Air West. The airline was headquartered in California and primarily served the western United States, operating out of San Francisco International Airport. Hughes Air West became famous for its distinctive all-yellow planes, which earned the nickname Flying Bananas. The airline's catchy slogan, "Top Banana in the West," added to its unique branding. It was a mid-range airline providing quality service to its passengers. The airline's colorful identity and reliable service made it a popular choice for travelers in the western region. However, Hughes Air West faced tough competition and financial stress over the years. Eventually, in 1980, they ceased operations, and the airline was sold to Republic Airlines, marking the end of its vibrant presence in the skies.
Nobody serves our republic like Republic. Nobody flies our country like we do.
Republic Airlines was founded in 1974 in Indianapolis, Indiana, as a subordinate of Republic Airways Holdings. The airline focused on regional routes, primarily serving the Midwestern and Northeastern United States. It quickly gained a reputation for its extensive route network and Boeing 727 and McDonnell Douglas DC-9 aircraft fleet. Republic Airlines became known for its role in the Jets for Jobs program, which allowed laid-off U.S. Airways pilots to fly for the airline. The airline offered mid-range pricing while focusing on quality service, which helped it attract a loyal customer base, particularly in the regions it served. With time, the airline struggled to keep its name prominent in the evolving airline industry. It eventually ceased to exist as an independent entity in 1986 when it merged with Northwest Airlines. The merger was driven by the need to compete and combine resources to create a stronger, more competitive airline.
Hello, Main Street, USA. Hello, Fifth Avenue.
Piedmont Airlines was founded in 1948 by Thomas Henry Davis in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Originally a regional carrier, it quickly grew to serve the eastern U.S., connecting smaller cities with major urban centers. Piedmont became known for its exceptional customer service and operational efficiency, setting a high standard in regional air travel. The airline was famous for its extensive route network and was one of the few airlines to maintain profitability through the challenging years of deregulation. Piedmont Airlines was considered a mid-range carrier, ensuring quality service. By 1989, the airline had expanded significantly, operating flights to 95 airports and employing around 22,000 people. Then Piedmont merged with US Air, driven by its profitability and growing route network. Now we will discuss Air Florida, a rising star in the aviation industry before it met its tragic end.
December 1st, Air Florida introduces new nonstop service from Tampa St. Pete to Chicago for low introductory fares.
Air Florida was founded in September of 1971 by Eli Timmeter, a former Eastern Airlines marketing director, and Ted Griffin. The airline was based at Miami International Airport and initially focused on flights within Florida. Air Florida gained fame for its low fares and friendly service, earning the nickname the Little Airline That Could. The airline was famous for its rapid growth during the airline industry's deregulation in the late 1970s and early 1980s. Air Florida expanded its routes to include European and Caribbean international destinations. As a low-cost carrier, it offered highly competitive pricing, making it an attractive option for budget-conscious travelers. Unfortunately, the airline's fortunes changed after the tragic crash of Air Florida Flight 90 in 1982, severely impacting its reputation. Eventually, Air Florida ceased operations on July 3rd of 1984 after filing for bankruptcy. The infamous crash and its financial struggles led to Air Florida's downfall. Get ready to dig into the story of Number 1 to the Sun, a popular nickname for an equally popular airline.
You mean you can give me a boarding pass from our return flight now?
If you like.
I like.
Eastern Airlines was founded in 1926 as Pitcairn Aviation. In 1929, Clement Keyes purchased it and renamed it Eastern Air Transport. The airline, headquartered in Miami, Florida, played a significant role in shaping U.S. aviation. In 1934, it became known as Eastern Airlines and became an essential player in the industry. Eastern Airlines was famous for its extensive network of flights between the Northeast and Florida, earning it the nickname Number 1 to the Sun. It was a mid-range airline offering competitive fares. Eastern introduced hourly air shuttle services between major cities like New York, Washington, D.C., and Boston. However, the airline faced labor disputes, rising fuel costs, and high debt challenges. Moreover, a crippling strike in 1981 further contributed to its discontinuation in 1991, marking the end of an era. Let's delve into the story of Texas International Airlines, a regional carrier with a pioneering spirit. Trans-Texas Airways was founded in 1947 and renamed Texas International Airlines in 1969. The airline was headquartered near William P. Hobby Airport in Houston, Texas, and primarily served routes within Texas and surrounding states. Texas International Airlines became famous for its low-cost fares and regional service. It was one of the first airlines to successfully petition the Civil Aeronautics Board for discounted fares, which became a cornerstone of its business model. The airline operated an all-jet fleet, primarily consisting of DC-9 aircraft, which made it popular among budget-conscious travelers looking for quality service at an affordable price. The airline started having financial difficulties, which led to its discontinuation as an independent entity on April 1st of 1982 when it merged with Continental Airlines. The merger allowed Continental to expand its market presence. Let's hear about Braniff International Airways, an airline known for its colorful branding and marketing.
We promise to knock ourselves out to be the world's friendliest, most professional airline personnel.
On November 3rd of 1930, brothers Paul Revere Braniff and Thomas Elmer Braniff developed Braniff International Airways. The airline, headquartered in Dallas, Texas, initially focused on routes within the U.S. It later expanded to Mexico, Central America, and South America. Braniff became known for its marketing and colorful branding, mainly through its End of the Plane campaign. The airline was famous for introducing vibrant colors and designer uniforms, making it stand out in the airline industry. Braniff was also the first U.S. airline to operate an all-jet fleet and one of the first to fly the Boeing 747, which it dubbed the most exclusive address in the sky. Braniff was generally considered a mid-range airline, maintaining a reputation for stylish service. Overexpansion, rising fuel costs, and intense competition led to its financial instability. Eventually, Braniff International Airways ceased operations on May 12th of 1982 after filing for bankruptcy. Next up is Mohawk Airlines, known for its best regional services.
I am Sally Page, your stewardess. Welcome aboard Mohawk's 111 Fanjet, powered by Rolls-Royce.
Mohawk Airlines was established in 1945 by C.S. Robinson as Robinson Airlines, headquartered in Ithaca, New York. It was later rebranded as Mohawk Airlines in 1953 under the leadership of Robert Peach. The airline primarily served the Mid-Atlantic region, focusing on New York and Pennsylvania routes. It was the first airline in the U.S. to hire an African-American flight attendant, Ruth Carroll Taylor, in 1958. Mohawk was also a leader in introducing pressurized aircraft and was the first regional carrier to operate jets with the BAC 111 in 1965. The airline was considered a mid-range carrier, offering competitive fares while providing quality service. Financial difficulties, increasing competition, and labor disputes led to the merger and the end of Mohawk Airlines' independent operations. Mohawk Airlines ceased operations on April 12, 1972 and merged with Allegheny Airlines. Now, we'll discuss an airline that sets international air travel standards.
America, you don't know it yet, but you're going to Europe this summer on Pan Am.
You're going because we cut our fares. They're lower than last year.
Pan American World Airways, commonly known as Pan Am, was developed in 1927 by U.S. Army Air Corps officers Henry Hap Arnold, Carl Spaatz, and John Jewett. Aviation pioneer Juan Trippe later incorporated it. The airline was headquartered in New York City and initially focused on routes in Latin America, later expanding to Europe and Asia. Pan Am was famous for pioneering many innovations in the airline industry, including the first international air routes, trans-Pacific flights, and around-the-world service. The airline also introduced luxurious flying boats and jetliners like the Boeing 707 and 747. Pan Am was considered a mid-range airline that provided premium service, so it became a favorite among international travelers. Over the years, rising fuel cost, intense competition, and the effects of deregulation contributed to its downfall. Pan Am ceased operations on December 4th of 1991 after filing for bankruptcy. Let's go through the history of Allegheny Airlines, a regional carrier that played an essential role in U.S. aviation.
With the hometown touch.
Allegheny Airlines was founded in 1939 as the All-American Aviation Company. It was renamed All-American Airways in 1949 before adopting Allegheny Airlines in 1953. The airline was headquartered at Washington National Airport and primarily served the northeastern U.S., particularly Pennsylvania and surrounding states. Allegheny Airlines was famous for establishing the Allegheny commuter system, which utilized affiliated regional airlines to provide last-mile connectivity. The airline was also among the first to implement a code-share agreement, enhancing its route network. Allegheny Airlines was considered a mid-range airline. In 1979, Allegheny Airlines rebranded as U.S. Air to shed its regional image and expand its market presence, ending its independent identity. Now let's hear the story of Western Airlines, a long-standing major player in the U.S. aviation industry.
Dangerfield!
That's me.
My husband loves you.
Western Airlines. Now more than ever, it's the only way to fly.
Western Airlines was founded on April 17th of 1926 as Western Air Express by a group of aviation pioneers, including Juan Trippe, who later founded Pan Am. The airline was headquartered in California and primarily served routes throughout the western U.S. It expanded its reach to significant population centers on the East Coast and internationally to destinations like London. The airline was known for being one of the first to operate an all-jet fleet. Western Airlines introduced the Boeing 707 on many routes and was recognized for its marketing strategies. It was generally considered a mid-range airline. Due to the need to survive in an ever-evolving aviation industry, Western Airlines ceased operations as an independent entity on April 1st of 1987 when it merged with Delta Airlines. Now, we will discuss National Airlines, a significant player that left a lasting legacy.
We're shining brighter! And starting December 13th, National flies non-stop from New York to Amsterdam.
We're shining brighter!
National Airlines was founded in 1934 by George T. Baker in Miami, Florida. Initially operating as an air taxi service, it soon expanded into scheduled passenger flights. The airline primarily served routes along the East Coast, connecting to Gulf and West Coast destinations. National Airlines was famous for its coast-to-coast-to-coast service, linking major cities from Florida to California. The airline's innovative marketing campaigns, including the famous slogan, "Fly Me," helped it stand out in a competitive market. National Airlines was considered a mid-range carrier, offering competitive fares while providing quality service. Over the years, the airline faced many financial challenges, which led to its ceasing operations as an independent entity on October 1st of 1980, when it merged with Pan Am. Next, we'll dig into the history of Continental Airlines, known for its comfortable flights.
We really move on tail for you to Chicago. Make your every wish come true.
Continental Airlines was founded in 1934 by Walter Varney as Varney Speed Lines. The airline was later renamed Continental Airlines in 1937 under the leadership of Robert Six, who played a significant role in its expansion. Headquartered in Denver, Colorado, Continental initially served routes in the western U.S., eventually growing to cover major cities nationwide and internationally. Continental Airlines was famous for its extensive route network and high-quality service. The airline gained recognition for its marketing and customer service initiatives, which helped it build a loyal customer base. Continental Airlines offered competitive fares while providing quality service. To create a larger, more competitive airline in response to rising operational cost and competition, Continental Airlines ceased to exist as an independent entity on November 30th of 2011 when it merged with United Airlines. Let's talk about People Express Airlines, a trendsetter in the low-cost carrier market.
Okay, you want the VSA Airlines super low price special, okay? You simply fly one way and pay the price you pay the other way if you fly two ways, okay?
People Express Airlines was founded in 1980 by Don Burr, a former executive at Texas International Airlines. The airline was headquartered at Newark International Airport in Newark, New Jersey, and primarily served routes in the northeastern U.S. People Express quickly revolutionized how air travel was offered with low-cost tickets. It was famous for its unique workforce model, where all employees had a stake in the company and were cross-trained to perform multiple roles. The airline also introduced unbundled pricing, allowing passengers to pay only for their desired services, which helped keep ticket prices low. People Express offered some of the cheapest fares in the industry at the time, making it very popular with budget-conscious travelers. The rapid expansion, rising cost, and fierce competition led to financial difficulties, ultimately resulting in its acquisition at the end of its operations. The airline ceased operations in 1987 after being acquired by Texas Air Corporation. Next, we'll discuss the airline known for its distinctive Yellowbirds. Northeast Airlines was founded as Boston Maine Airways in 1933 by the Boston and Maine Railroad. It was later renamed Northeast Airlines in 1940, and its headquarters are in Boston, Massachusetts. The airline primarily served routes in the northeastern U.S., with additional destinations in Canada, Florida, the Bahamas, and Bermuda. Northeast Airlines was famous for its distinctive yellow and white livery, earning its planes the nickname Yellowbirds. The airline was also one of the first in the U.S. to operate jet service, introducing Boeing 707 flights in 1959 and becoming the launch customer for the Boeing 727-200 in 1967. Northeast Airlines was considered a mid-range carrier that appealed to business and leisure travelers. Delta merged with Northeast Airlines to expand its market presence in the northeastern U.S. This merger led to the airline's ceased operations as an independent entity on August 1st of 1972. Now let's go through the vibrant history of Pacific Southwest Airlines, an airline known for its friendly service. Pacific Southwest Airlines, or PSA, was founded in 1949 by Kenneth "Kenny" Friedkin. The airline, headquartered in San Diego, California, initially focused on flights within California. PSA quickly became a popular regional carrier, expanding its service to other western states and Mexico. PSA was famous for its colorful aircraft known as the Grinning Birds, which featured a smile painted on their noses. The airline adopted the slogan, "The world's friendliest airline," and was known for its friendly service and pleasant flight attendants. PSA was known for its low-cost airline model, offering affordable fares and efficient service, which influenced the development of other airlines like Southwest. The airline struggled to maintain profitability in the deregulated environment and faced fierce competition, leading to its acquisition and the end of its operations as an independent airline. PSA ceased operations on April the 8th of 1988 after being acquired by US Air. Now, we'll talk about this famous regional carrier that made its mark in the Midwest.
Ozark's heat wave is sweeping over all of Florida. Why don't you ride out the winter on Ozark?
Don't pass up this chance.
Ozark Airlines was founded in 1943, but began operations on September the 26th of 1950 after acquiring routes from Parks Air Transport. The airline was headquartered in St. Louis, Missouri, and primarily served the Midwest, extending routes to major cities across the U.S. Ozark Airlines quickly became known for its reliable service and extensive regional network. The airline was famous for using Douglas DC-3 aircraft in its early years and later introduced jet service with the Douglas DC-9 in the 1960s. The airline's commitment to serving smaller cities in the Midwest helped it build a loyal customer base and maintain steady growth throughout its operations. But due to rising financial struggles, Ozark Airlines ceased to exist as an independent entity on October the 27th of 1986 when it merged with Trans World Airlines, or TWA. Next, we'll talk about the airline that shaped global air travel for the better.
TWA presents the difference between getting you where you're going and leading the way.
Trans World Airlines, or TWA, was founded on July the 16th of 1930 as Transcontinental and Western Air through the merger of several smaller airlines. The airline was initially headquartered in Kansas City, Missouri, and later moved its headquarters to New York and St. Louis. TWA became one of the major players in the U.S. airline industry, known for its coast-to-coast flights and international routes. TWA was famous for being the Lindbergh Line, as Charles Lindbergh played a significant role in its early operations. The airline was also renowned for offering coast-to-coast flights in the U.S. and later expanded to serve Europe, the Middle East, and Asia. TWA offered competitive fares while providing quality service, which made it a preferred choice for many travelers. Eventually, financial difficulties, including debt and competition, along with a tragic crash of TWA Flight 800, led to its downfall. TWA ceased operations on December the 1st of 2001 after being acquired by American Airlines. Next, Frontier Airlines is popular for serving in the Rocky Mountain region. The original Frontier Airlines was founded on June the 1st of 1950 by merging Arizona Airways, Challenger Airlines, and Monarch Airlines. The airline was headquartered at Stapleton International Airport in Denver, Colorado, and primarily served the Rocky Mountain region, expanding to various destinations across the U.S., Canada, and Mexico. Frontier Airlines was famous for its service in the Rocky Mountain region and for being one of the first airlines to introduce the Convair 580, a turboprop aircraft, into its fleet. The airline was considered a mid-range carrier, offering competitive fares while providing quality service. At its peak, Frontier operated an extensive network of routes and was known for its customer-focused service. The airline struggled to adapt to the increased competition following deregulation, leading to its financial difficulties and eventual closure. Frontier Airlines ceased operations on August the 24th of 1986 and filed for bankruptcy shortly after.